It's the fucking Verrier podcast. We're here with goddamn Noah Lampert up here. What is the name of this town? We don't have to say.
Rhinecliff.
Oh, you don't? Okay, cool.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
We're on our coronavirus-free tour outside New York City. And fuck, dude, it's been way too long. We haven't seen you since March.
Yeah.
We've done a bunch of podcasts together, which I think are some of our best podcasts together somehow.
I guess we saw each other in March, but just briefly.
No, the video chatting has made it feel like we've hung out.
Yeah.
But physically, I don't think since February, I want to say.
Yo, dude, the last time we saw each other
Was the ween.
No.
After that.
It was March 4th. Because remember, we were clowning around doing some nitrous in my apartment.
Yes.
And Evan caught coronavirus. And we were hanging out with Evan. Yeah.
So March 4th.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Holy shiza, as I say now. March, April, May, June, July. 5 months.
5 months, man. It's been a long fucking 5 months.
Oh, fuck. Oh, you're telling me. You're telling me it's been a long
It's felt like 5
months.
years.
5 lifetime, 500.
Yeah. We're calling this podcast Wasting Time with Noah Lampert.
Cool.
Oh, you said you liked that title, but now it is perfect for today.
Oh, I think that I was thinking about that today. I was all on acid and a little stoned in my parents' basement. We're staying there for a couple days and listening to Frank Zappa. And yeah, I was like, am I wasting time right now? Like, should I be? And then I was like, oh man, I'm wasting.
Yes, that's exactly. Oh, you're the best. I literally, when you said wasting time, when he said it, I literally got the image like, I'm gonna go waste some motherfucking
Like
time.
Rambo.
Rambo.
Is it something
That's
about
so weird? That's so weird.
that happened to me too? Because when he said it in the car before, like as we got up to here, he was like,
That's funny. You didn't even tell me that. That's funny. You didn't even tell me that, but I reacted as if that's like you, like, because I said, I want to do a podcast called Wasting Time. And you were like, whoa. And I was like, wait, did she just put two into, like,
No,
what
'cause I was like, no,
I was
'cause-
about to explain it to you, but it was like, you already jumped
no,
to
because
it.
I was like, you hear that people say wasting time all the time, but when you say it for some reason, I just saw a whole different thing.
It's because you know what it is. You know what it is. You've attached your imagination to those words so strongly that when you say it that proves that words are just abstractions. It's just the energy behind it. This is always my like kind of like intuitive faculty like chant. Like it's the words are less important than the image you have in your mind of what you're conveying. Because how many times have you heard the phrase wasting time? I've heard it a million times. I've never thought of that ever in my life until this moment.
Yeah.
And you thought of it earlier and I thought it was obvious. That's what you did. Nice job.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's one of those things. It's like, it has such a negative connotation. Like, it's what I thought about potheads before I was a pothead. It's like they're wasting time. They're fucking smoking out in the basement, grooving out to Jerry. Fuck that shit, man. We got shit to do. Yeah, we're wasting time.
We're wasting time. We're wasting it, man. Kill it.
I thought it was, I was so surprised at how hard it hit me that I was like, did you say it differently? Like waste teen.
That's what
You know what I mean?
No. You just thought about it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for a second.
And we also know what we do on here, which is
Did
Take people's time.
Did you ever play a game called Smash TV? Do you remember?
What? Yo, you're blowing my mind right now, Noah. Noah, there's probably 4 or 5 video games in the world that like would resonate with me. How the fuck do you know about Smash TV?
What you know about Smash TV?
Dude, Total Carnage. I love it.
Man, that's deep. You can go deep in that.
That game I had that for Sega Genesis. Stole it from KB Toys because the KB Toy Store in our mall.
KB Toys!
They were so stupid, man. The KB Toy Store in our mall put like a cage of Sega games like outside of their alarm system, the boxes. So you could like sort through the boxes, but there was no games in them. But every now and then they forgot. So me and my cousin would just go through and we would check every box and Smash TV was in there.
It's so good.
Wait, so
so
what
good.
is Smash TV?
Oh,
It's from the future.
Find it. It is from the future.
What
which
do you
we're probably
mean?
already past, but there basically is a future where, as game shows, you go and you get put into these rooms where things and orbs, everything attacks you, and it's just like coming from all angles, and you're collecting like game show prizes.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it's a satirical game. It's
like the game Running Man, the movie Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit, where like they're broadcasting this competition.
Yes, it's
of
exactly
like
like that.
future like dystopian entertainment is like watch people like kill all these things and then they'll eventually die. But like the point of the game is you just keep going deeper and they throw more shit at you, but you get like more guns and you can blast it. It's just the perfect like. I forget the name of those games, what they call them, shoot 'em ups, but it's not. It's something else. Oh, such a good game.
What was great about it, it was like
So good.
it was like social commentary. Like, because if we played that game now, it's like a Donald Trump
It's
type
so
host, and he's
crazy.
got like 2 babes on his arms, and he's like laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
And you're going in and you're collecting weapons, and you're like, there's a prize room that you get to, and you have to run around, and you have to like pick up money everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, money.
It sounds like Idiocracy or something, like one of those games that seems like
totally.
it's predicting the future, and as everything
Yeah, there's your
becomes
proof.
more like it, you're like, whoa, these people who made this game need to be really careful, and we need to be careful about what future games are made, because
So this is good. Download reality. This is one of the downloads I got the last big ketamine adventures. Is we're literally everything now. We're seeing the literal and explicit objective evidence that like what we creates reality, and it does go back to what you just said. Like we need to be careful. It doesn't mean we can't have those games. You love Smash TV, right? I
man.
love Smash TV. There's a function for it, but recognize the direct connection between these things.
because everyone sees Grand Theft Auto and then just plays Grand Theft Auto.
That-
And then that's what people
you know,
pay
like-
attention to, and that's what they want to see in the news, and that's the news stories that get the most attention is the Grand Theft Auto stuff. So whether or not more Grand Theft Auto stuff is happening in this world, we're seeing life as if it's Grand Theft Auto.
That happened to me when I started playing it. When I'd go outside in Boston, or when I first got exposed to it, I'd be like, "Whoa, is someone just gonna steal a car and run me over? Like, what, am I in that world? Like, it's, yeah."
Dude, you are in a bizarre world, though, because Sean, I had never heard him laugh so loud. He was just, like, laughing hysterically. I'm like, what are you laughing about? And he's like, I'm watching Noah's Instagram story.
Holy
What was
fuck,
it? What was
you filmed 2 people fighting. in
Oh
the
my god, it was
streets.
the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude.
I watched
Do you
the
know
whole
how many
thing.
people hit me
I
up
watched
about
that
that?
10 times, man.
Do you know how many people hit me up about this? And they're like, I know I'm not supposed to be laughing because it's
Yeah.
people fighting, but it's the fun. I'm like, I know, because I wouldn't have filmed it if it was in any way serious. It was the funniest shit
Wow.
I have ever seen. It was a doofus fight. It was
Yeah.
a literal, they blocked off traffic. What you didn't hear, there's the miracle. Here's the true miracle of this story and this situation. Well, I have it on my phone still. People were leaning on their fucking horns. They
Oh
were
my
blocking.
God.
Imagine you have to go
Wow.
somewhere. You have to get some shit done. You don't want to be in the city. You're in Brooklyn. You're in Williamsburg. This fucking sucks. Motherfuckers, these guys like squaring up like old timey.
I know.
And, like, pulling at each other.
Twice in your face. Okay? You call. No cement, doctor. No cement. No cement. No cement. Bro, come on, man. Bro, come on, guys. Guys, come on. Guys, come on. There's a lot going on. We don't need to fight. What is this gonna solve, guys? Come on. You guys are gonna look like fools in front of everybody. You're grown men.
I thought they were play fighting.
Everyone said that.
Yeah.
Everyone said that. They're like, I thought they were play fight. I'm like, no, it was a real fight. I went in. I was going into Sweet Green to get
Jesus.
Holy
So
shit.
I went in, I came out, and it had escalated. And then I thought it was over. You can see the 2 different sides of the film where the angles I thought it was over because the guy was coming to intervene, pushed that guy aside, and they went back at it.
Did you film that?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the end
that's
of
the
it.
end
But
of
then
it. Yeah.
they were still going. I left.
People are
They
like,
got
come
out.
on, man. People are like, come on, you're 2 grown men. You know, like there's somebody trying to like.
Yeah, my friend wrote to me and he was like, he's like, that guy. He's like, what does he think he's doing? It's like, dude, they're getting
shit,
it out.
man.
They're duking it out on this mean streets of Williamsburg.
God, man.
It was pretty good.
I fucking, I was binging on. You kind of kicked me up because like I try to avoid watching too much violence because I used to be the kind of guy that'd be like, let's watch a fight compilation.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy anymore. But that like kind of sent me a little bit
it's-
down the rabbit hole.
Oh, I mean, it's so funny.
Go to the instant regret subreddit.
People were watching this Karen channel. Our friends Gotti and Morgan showed us this Revenge on Karens. It was like all these like really like stupid racist white ladies getting like stomped out. Whoa. And I was like, whoa, that's a vein of reality I hadn't thought of. Like this is just like off-gassing. Like
Wait, is it Revenge on Karen? Like
yeah, Karen's getting beat up for being a racist bitch. Like it's just,
but it's real. It's not like animated.
Oh, it's not animated. This is real life situations. It's like I think it's a Black Twitter thing. I don't, or like it's something, but like it's a real thing, and it's fucking
Oh man.
World Star Hip Hop thing type of thing.
kind of, but it's a hashtag on. We sound so old. I'm sure the kids.
I know it's a hashtag.
There's a
There's a
hashtag.
thing and a thing with the but it was like just like these racist people getting stomped out for being idiots, and I was like, I don't need to see it like that, but I respect that as a vein of like there's some justice that you can witness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. I felt like
Mars is an Aries.
It's such a unjust world, and that's being pumped at us so much that like going to the instant regret subreddit is like it's just watching justice get served time and time again. It's usually hot shots that are like trying to like alpha types who are drunk or something trying to start some situation, and then someone swoops in and takes them down.
It's just not cool.
Yeah.
Totally.
There's an innocent every once in a while where someone like tries to jump on a balloon and like falls back and hurts themselves, but then you feel bad because you're like, wow, you really hurt yourself.
Oh yeah.
I liked when people fall. I like those videos.
Yeah, those are great. And like,
I fall sometimes. That's the truth. Like I only laugh because I know what it's like when you today when I was pulling in to get cucumbers I figured out my peak form, by the way, is listening to James Brown on full blast and eating cucumbers from a local farm. Like this is it. I'm doing it right. I'm just hit peak reality here. But when I pulled in a little hot. I got a low car. Gotta own that. Oh, wow. Gotta own that mistake. You can't play that one. I'm like, I fucked up.
You can't play that off legit.
Sometimes you go. It's okay. It still runs. No cosmetic damage that you can see, just on the undercarriage.
I've never fucked up a car.
I did once,
somehow
kind of recently.
You did?
Remember the boulder?
Oh yeah, we were coming to drive up here, and like there was like a small boulder in the middle of the road. It kind of looked like a paper bag from far away. And Cass is like, "Do I go around this? I don't know. I'm just gonna go." And it was just like the perfect height.
You went over it.
It just like
felt too close.
It just dragged with the car.
Never go over. Never go over.
It felt too.
General rule.
It just felt too late. But honestly, I probably could have backed up and gone around
like
it.
We felt it. We
it
were
was
in
like
the car.
a perfect
and we were like,
thing.
Whoa.
It was like this. It was like this. It was like you're like, there's no way that's too high. You know, I was like, I'll just be able to go over it.
You can't fuck up a car.
No, we did fuck it up.
We had to get it plugged immediately.
Yeah, right away we were like, yo, there's oil pouring.
Was it oil or windshield?
No, it was oil.
Oh, shit,
yeah.
you really did fuck it up. All right.
We were like 3 blocks from a rental car place.
So yeah, we just turned around, threw our shit in the rental car, and fucking got on our way.
I told you.
Leave behind.
I smashed her shit up. It was like fucking... She's like, she had been paying for a ton of insurance because she's like from out of the country, and like she's like, why do I pay so much for insurance? I smashed up her car. They only raised it $20. I'm like, because it's like $7,000 worth of damage, and they just picked up the fucking bill.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah, I just literally backed into a tree. I've never been in an accident that's not faster than like 5 miles per hour. But still, you can be going really slow and do some damage.
Yeah, those are the ones that like fucking haunt you too. Like fuck.
You know what the guy said to me? Listen to this shit. I go in, we drop it off. Already a very emasculating situation. Let's admit it. I just smashed up my partner's car. I have to go in. He's like, it's her car, so he goes to her. What happened? You know, did you back into something? And she goes, he backed into it. I'm like, I backed into a tree. And then he says, he drops this gem on me. He goes, oh, you know, I looked at it. It's too bad because if it was a quarter of an inch that way, it would have been a lot less damage. I was like, dude, why did you say it at that point? Why say it? I don't need to know it.
At that point, he's just like trying to maybe help you not get laid or something.
And like the coolest thing is,
dude,
the best thing about it is like he was just being a nice guy. Like there was no malice or intent. I was just like, oh, but you're killing me, man. But
is that what you're getting into up here in the fucking Hudson Valley?
Dude, just like it's fucking hijinks. It's hijinks up here.
It was pretty nice up here, man. We were pulling into town, and like the Hudson River is like, it's like glowing and flowing. It's so beautiful.
It is really nice from here.
Noah lives like 2 seconds from where we are right now. Yeah,
pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
I'm looking at the Hudson River out your window right now.
Yeah, I look at it when I sit out there and when I do my exercise bike and I look at the river. It's nice.
You ever do ketamine and get like confused as to like who you are and what's going on? Like, have you ever gone that far?
I like that you just jumped right to that. I have not here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not here, but I have definitely done that.
Yeah.
I've been doing that at one point, I had 2 recurring ketamine trips where I was pretty sure we were just biological organisms that were designed to process various aspects of emotion and energy as fuel for some like higher dimensional race. So that happened to me twice, and both times the way I resolved it was it's like, whatever, it's fun, I'm cool with it.
You're like, oh, well, I mean, what choice do you have in the matter?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think one time I was going to the bathroom and I was like, I don't know. I was like, this is weird. Like, this is a weird thing to do on ketamine. Like, ketamine shits. Like, that's a weird reality. I'm like, what is this? So it got me on that tangent. And then it popped up another time when I was peeing, and I'm like, this is such a weird thing we do. And if we really are these, like, vessels of, like, potentially, unlimited energy, why would we do it like this? And then it sent me on this other trip, and then I was like, oh, because it's fun, I guess. It's cool. It's like an exchange. It feels good. Like, it feels good when you pee or take a shit. Like, it's a release. It's something. So I just reconciled it and felt good. But I definitely forgot who I was on those 2, to answer your question.
Man.
Sometimes it's weird peeing on acid because you feel like you can focus in on different parts of your experience that you don't usually think about when you're peeing. You know what I mean? Like, because you could, so you just end up in this position where you're like doing something you always do, but it feels so different.
Dude, we had an acid trip this less than a week ago up in New Hampshire at this beautiful house with our friend Emma, and I spent the first 3 or 4 hours like just like curled in the fetal position inside. And they're out just playing in the meadow, and I can hear the girls like having the best day ever, and I'm just sitting there sweating, having thinking like, what the fuck is? I was just so fucking. It was one of the craziest come-ups I've ever had off one fucking tab of acid, which is not a lot for us.
No.
And it just really was just like, I was like, oh, fuck. And I just was having such a goddamn hard time. And hearing these girls have the best time outside, I was just like really bummed out. Fucking 20 minutes later, I was like,
cool.
Yeah, it was good. But it was like 3 hours.
But he had this whole narrative that he was like, I can't believe they're going to have this great trip and I'm just going to be on the outside of it.
I was like, I'm going to be on the sideline of this one.
It sounds like my 4th of July, but I was there at a party and I got triggered by this thing I was talking about before. Like jealousy energy and just like wonky shit.
Yeah.
Look how cool these swirls are.
I know.
Oh my God. That's
because it's coming off both sides.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, when you get sent to those places, I think what I'm always grateful for, or what I always feel grateful for, is I remember those states of consciousness sticking with me for longer than 3 hours. I remember that reality. I don't live in it, thank God, anymore, but I remember it. And I realize other people, like, don't shake that shit, and that's just their baseline. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, okay.
That's terrifying.
Fuck! Yeah. And I wasn't, like...
And we all know those people.
Listen, also, people do this at any given point in their lives. You don't ever, like, necessarily reach a point where you don't, like, transcend something. But, like, yeah, that shit is the fever pitch of, like, a bad trip is what some people live in, like, truthfully, their whole lives. And it's like, fucking A. Like,
I know. It's a bummer.
I know.
But I think that, at least for us, I can't really speak for anyone else, those moments are like why we take psychedelics, because I doubt you would have come anywhere near battling with jealousy that day if you didn't take acid.
No, and the truth is...
you would have been so much more protected.
I would have been more protected and secure and in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why... Like, I think my current relationship, why I love it so much, and I love Denise, and, like, you know, it's a very... I love our love so much, but, like, it really... The growth aspects of it, like the grist for the mill, that shit, it feels like it has a function. It doesn't feel like in wasted effort. It feels like a propellant for evolving as people and having a more stable foundation in which to build like a really like strong thing. And that to me is, I'm grateful for that. Like I really am, because I know what it's like when it doesn't feel like that. And I think, like you guys know, like the relationship with one other person can be such a powerful catalyst for exposing like shadow aspects, light aspects, genuine feelings. I do think there are a lot of people, I give a lot of these readings and a lot of people end up like kind of settling on that like relationship and they skirt around it, and people like they feel like that because it's a very valuable thing. If you can hold that frequency and that love, open-handed love, true fucking free, like the horse spirit thing you were pointing out before, that shit is like, it's the best like in the world, and it is independent of the other person. I think we would all cop to that too. Like it really, really is. Like it is starts with you. Like that allows that relationship with another to appear because it is a you thing ultimately. But then we get to play this fun game in duality.
Yeah.
These cool things.
You guys do fast work too, because I feel like y'all were like so cosmically magnetized that like there's a lot of like past life shit that needs to be burning out. So like we'll sit with you and you're having a hard time, and I'm like, dude, you're moving through shit at a pace that took me 300 fucking fights to get to.
That's why.
And you guys are like, let's just let's burn this out. Let's be who we are, and there's such a mutual respect there. And I think it's not threatening because ultimately at the end of the day there is that mutual respect.
I think if you just make the only commitment you make is to rise to the challenge of being there, like as your best version of yourself, whatever that means, even if it means like doing uncomfortable shit sometimes, like it's like, to be clear, like this is what I've been like, I say that all the time, to be clear, but
that's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a way
clear.
to focus.
You hand it off to me for a while.
Take it. I love it. I love it. I say it all the time.
Cool.
It is good to deal with all of your shit as fast as possible. It gives you the space to deal with what you actually want to deal with. Like the good stuff that you want in life has a better chance of growing in the soil if like that like all that yucky shit has been like, like the plastics and stuff that are like, they will eventually dissolve. Plastic eventually dissolves. You find the right fungus, it'll do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right? But like you eventually you don't need a lot of that in there. And I think if you have that mentality, you're good. Like you will get through every situation in life, whether it's a relationship, the loss of a loved one, which is a great lovers. I mean, what do you guys talk about with death? What do you guys plan for death? Like who's going to die first? You're going to do mutual death?
No, we're going to die at the same time. But
okay, of course, right.
I've already decided. I'm willing to go out at 93 if you want to live to 100.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. I kind of got into my head. I was like, I could probably live to 100. I'm doing pretty good. I'm almost 40, and I'm like Mick Jagger,
Getting
timeless
younger.
classic. I'm getting younger.
If it stays like this, I'm like definitely trying to go over 100.
Yeah, well, now I'm like, that was modest.
Like 111 sounds great to me. Like that
Ooh,
sounds
111.
great. Like, that's a cool.
Ooh.
I can't believe, of all numbers to invoke.
It's just like
interesting.
So basically, I think that's maybe what I'm thinking. But anyway, that's one that's fun to explore with another person because like you think about what that means in this reality and what you're doing and.
Well, like I see, like it was funny before when we were walking. You're like, I didn't grow up around examples of people like you guys, like a successful couple or whatever. And I'm like, I can think of like a few in my immediate family, my aunts and uncles, that I'm like, wow, they are just fucking with each other. They adore each other for 50 years.
I had no examples.
And then my uncle died. One of my uncles died, who was part of this sacred couple, and his wife is so lost right now.
I actually have a similar like second cousin story. The son committed suicide and they had 3 kids and.
Whoa.
She's strong, but she definitely spun out a little bit.
Well, that's really, suicide. It
he was in the
unlocks a whole
military.
different
He was in the
thing.
military, and he was in this thing where like his own troop. It was friendly fire. Like a bunch of people died, and he didn't.
Oh,
like
shit.
somewhere, and like it fucked him up too much. And he was like, I went to a bar mitzvah. So I must have been like 15, 16, and I had taken acid at that point. This dude was fucking making it. He had a centrifuge. Like, he leveled up and out of there, dude. He was like, I'm good. I don't know. It's like one of the few times I think like this guy may have actually just like took the reality booster out, but
Really?
Nah, it's not a good way. It's too much challenges if you kill yourself here. It's just not effective. But
what I think in my heart, because I've dealt with this with my dad, and these words weren't even about me until they came out, but I was like, Dad, you're just gonna get spit back out into this thing, man. You're gonna get spit back out as Jack Dunn at this age. In this, like you're just gonna wake up. You know
that's
what I
too
mean?
easy though. I'm saying like you don't know what's gonna happen, and that's even scarier.
Well,
you don't know what you're gonna get.
At least you know
do.
here you're gonna be
You kinda
debilitatingly depressed. Who knows what?
you kind of do know what you're gonna get. and I agree that like the only thing I know to be true, it's the only thing I can consistently prove time and time again, no matter how many drugs I do, no matter how far I go, is that everyone is the creator, sustainer, and destroyer of their reality. It's the only thing I actually know for sure. Everything else, I like to say I don't speculate. I've really empirically tested a lot of things in this reality. I think I have a pretty firm handle on them.
Wait, say the three. I'm really high.
Creator, sustainer, and destroyer.
Okay, I like those. Yeah.
Of everything that you perceive. That's the only thing I know, and if that's true, now I lost my train of thought. But that is the only thing I really know.
You're saying you know what you die. You know.
Oh yeah, after what happens. Okay.
Die
so
when you die.
If that's true,
if that's true,
when you die, irrespective of the process of where you regain consciousness as yourself, you inevitably have the same rules applied. And if you are the person who made your reality this constrictive and depressing, you will keep doing that until you recognize you have the ability to not do that. So that's why suicide doesn't work. Even if it's for, truthfully, I don't know. I will investigate this. I will think about this when I do more drugs. Even Buddhist monks who self-immolate, I don't even think that's that smart. I think that's a misapprehension of something that's a truer thing. Like, I'll take it to the point where, like, I don't want to disrespect what their nobility and intention is, but I think it's a misperception. I think, like, I get the symbol, I get the token, I get exactly what they're trying to convey.
But it's not something
lost.
you ascribe to.
But it's not something that if I understand reality correctly, where I'm the creator, sustainer, and destroyer, I don't have to go through those measures to make my point.
It's a pretty extreme measure.
It's an extreme measure that ultimately is using the rules of this reality, which is a very small segment of all reality, to try to prove a very small point related to our. It's not. I don't know.
I don't know that guy who set himself on fire in Central Park. He I know about him. You know.
Yeah, but you know about a lot of people. You know about.
I think it's also about that was his role to play. You know, half the people meditating. Wherever they're holding it down in meditation, the most is they're reminding us that that's a state that's possible to achieve. You know what I mean? It just brings these conversation and this question of, and maybe that was his goal. He wanted to create that question. He wants you to think about who you are and you being the creator, sustainer, and destroyer of your world.
And I've thought about it, and I thank him for his role and his blessing, but I'll also thank him in saying that for me, myself, and I imagine for many other people, it's something that doesn't have to be that extreme in linear time where we are and going forward. Maybe in the past, listen, we grew up in a pretty gentle time, all things considered.
Yeah.
Right.
As fucked up as shit can seem at times, you know, even 100 years ago with the Spanish flu and all that.
I think it's going to get harder for people to not want to take that option as time goes on, because
harder to
not want to check out. And like really do the ultimate because I think we're less in touch with our instincts, and our instinct wants to keep us here. Our instinct wants to keep us alive. That's why when you do go to physically actually kill yourself, a lot of times you can't bring yourself to do it because there's an instinct.
Did either of you ever get close to suicidal thoughts? I mean,
suicidal thoughts. Yeah, I think
anyone gets there, but like I've moved away from them in a healthy way that makes me feel like it's not something I'm ever really.
Yeah, I move away from it in a way that's not taboo. I'm not going to make that taboo in my life. Like thinking about.
Well, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. That's why I asked the question.
Oh, totally. I've definitely had times where I've like turned to Cass. I'm like, right now, jumping off a bridge would be easier than dealing with what's going on in my head.
Wow.
You know, and it's like it's like a scary moment. But even just saying it, you're like
deflates it.
You're like, that was funny. Shit isn't that serious.
That's an important lesson if you get there.
And I've seen people like really walk the line, but the people that I know that have done it, I wouldn't have thought it. It was just
really?
One day they were just gone.
Really?
Yeah, and you're like, whoa.
You knew someone when you were a kid, right?
When I was a kid, I came home from school in like second grade, and my dad's best friend had killed himself. Fucking crazy. And
but you didn't know what was going on.
No, I walked into my parents. No, I didn't know what was going on in his life. But my parents, in retrospect, were saying, "Oh man, we should have known because he was in a different place last time we saw him, and it was suspicious. It was almost like he knew he had his ticket out.
Oh.
And the only thing they found, he waited till his parents went on vacation, and he killed himself in his garage. And the only thing they found on him was my dad's business card. So,
yeah, you told me this.
you know,
Oh my God.
yeah, I know. And it like haunted me, and like my parents told me all the details of this, and so like it was real. Like I had to like confront that at a young age. Like, wait, there's people that like kill themselves. Like that's a thing. And one of my friends in the neighborhood did too. One of my close friends.
And
Everybody's
you didn't see
close
it
friend.
coming?
No. We were
What
playing
happened?
hockey outside of his house, and we heard a gunshot. We didn't think twice about it. We didn't even think twice about it, and like a few hours later, it was just like Frankie killed himself, and it blew our fucking minds. And the thing that was really heartbreaking, and it's still heartbreaking, was to see how much it destroyed the community in the neighborhood, and everybody desperately searching for a reason why. Like he had to have been on drugs. There had to be, to the point where some neighborhood Karen moms, before Karens were Karens, these women were Karens. They went and dug up a time capsule that we had buried with him.
No.
To see if like
there was evidence.
Yeah, like something happened. Like it's like, no, he was a teenager fucking going through a breakup, and he thought it was a lot more serious than it was. Because, like, I tell my dad, I'm like, dude, you don't want to kill yourself. You don't want to inflict bodily harm on yourself. That's only gonna add more.
Perpetuate.
Yeah, what you want to do is kill this ego cycle.
Yes.
Like that's what you really want to take offline.
I think that's a key pivot point in suicidal thoughts, is to recognize that, like, I say it all the time. I say, like, kill yourself, but in the sense that it's the psychic version of yourself that is like holding on to something that's not serving you, and like recognizing, like, when you know that, and like when you're like, you know what, this isn't serving me anymore, I'd really like to let this go. And like that's, I remember what I was gonna say before.
Whoop,
When
whoop.
you're
Whoop, whoop.
about to transcend challenging energy, you get a lot of challenges thrown your way. And it's like anything, it's like a video game thing. Everyone will understand this, but any video games, like, you get everything thrown at you with the final bosses of something.
Smash
like
TV.
Yeah, like then there's all the little guys and all the other things. You got to save it up for the big guy. It's a whole thing. Smash TV, exactly.
It's next to impossible game to beat. It's really
so
hard.
hard. You go real deep in it. It's like,
Yeah, and then you almost beat this game.
I never beat it. Yeah, that's
I
right.
know.
And I beat every game I could play.
You need two
basically.
players to beat it.
You do.
Yeah.
You do need two players. See, you need two players. The thing is like, challenges have this weird function of being these boosts. I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but like, every challenge, when you come out of the other side of it, I get like weirdly grateful for it, because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
not only was this on the other side, but it showed me something that either I wasn't seeing before. Like, it's not a bad thing. I don't label it as like a bad thing that's going on in my life and like, it fucked me up and I'm like stuck in that. I think that's how you get bound to shit. And
I'm grateful my sister died.
Yeah,
You know, that might sound
I
crazy,
know,
but like
I
I'm
know.
grateful for it now.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get there, but like, who knows? If she didn't die, I might be wasting time, and not the sense we are.
No, but in another
In the
way.
other way.
And I've done that too. I've done that for I did that for, I think about, if I look at my life, I would say I wasted, some years of my life. Not any chunk, but just like wasted, like wasted in the sense that like I suppressed parts of my being that I shouldn't have. I'm eternally grateful for literally every experience in my life. I don't refute or acknowledge, like, even with the revision technique where you go back and change the situations, I honor them for what they are. But yeah, you want to just honor like what you're doing in the present moment and what you feel and what you want to be in resonance with. And that to me is like, when you do that, when you understand that when challenges come your way, you look at them so differently. They're not like this weird, it's like, oh shit, on one of these, like a big fucking wave.
Yeah.
And when you actually surf it and you get to the shore, even if it wiped you out, one out of every 10 or 20 or a million, whatever it is, like, you still get to the shore and you're like, holy shit, all right, maybe I won't ride that wave that high again, or maybe I'll learn how to ride a wave that big. But it really, like, you throw yourself those fucking challenge waves. Like, it's just, so you should be grateful. And I think a lot of people freak out when that starts to happen, because they're like on this threshold or cusp. Like, I think I get this. I think I want to live this life. And then shit starts to go wrong. Shit starts to get weird.
This wave's too big.
This wave's too big. I don't know if I can do it. And they kind of retreat back. And that is so much more uncomfortable than anything else. That, like, wiping out is so much better than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much better. Like,
It's really true that kind of like life will never really throw you more than you can handle.
because it's you.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. People are like, so weird. Like, it's because it's literally you.
Yeah.
You never get, they say, what is it? God won't give you more than you can bear.
Mm-hmm.
Your sense of conscious, your sense of I am is God. That's what it is.
That's why when it's so funny when people throw shit fits.
I know. It is funny.
I
I
would-
throw shit fits.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh, all the fucking time. You know, they're becoming less so, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's
You don't
just-
really do them that much, so. I think like
I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I do other things.
Shit
Shit fits isn't
fits.
one of them.
on the way
Shit
up
fits.
here, I was like thinking, I was all like, Cass was driving, I was like all stoned out on acid, just like looking out the window, and I was thinking about how my whole life I've always framed kind of like my artistic pursuits as like, you know, I come up with ideas. I'm trying to catch ideas. You know, I'm trying to wrangle and reel in ideas. And it seems like the Wild West and I'm like on a horse. It's actually the other way around. The ideas are much more
Yes,
eternal.
we're getting wrangled.
And we're getting wrangled
Totally.
by them. And they're attracted to the right vessels. And even and this applies to not just ideas but challenges. They're attracted to the vessels that will carry them the best. Like for an idea, if you tune your vessel with focus and discipline, an idea that really needs a lot of focus and discipline will come to you, and because it wants to manifest.
And I think here's the most important thing for people or anyone hearing this, including myself. Like, if you're giving yourself some big things that you want to transcend, you're going to throw yourself what feels to you like the biggest shit ever in the world. Bigger than anything else you read in the news, anything like it. Just, it's going to feel like the biggest thing in the world. But when you do it, you're always rewarded.
Yeah.
Always, because like that's how this works. That's why we do it. That's the function. You do have to trust that. You do have to know and kind of experience it to really believe it. But it is true. If you're kind to yourself, which you are, that's why you're here.
Yeah.
You can relax, and you can just like know that even when challenging. This Miller Repo book I've been reading, it's been amazing for that. He's just this dude who just goes around and sings songs to demons everywhere, and they're like, "Nah, we're gonna fuck you up." And he's like, "There's a song," and his songs are just him talking about like being. He's like, when challenges come up, like I love it extra much because I get to meditate super hard. And he's like, oh, "Cool, man." Like, it's like way to be.
This is. I just pulled the bat spirit. A rebirth is assured.
Oh, I love it.
A rebirth is assured.
Which I like it because it goes into this conversation. Like, if you face a challenge, a rebirth is assured.
Always.
But, like, if you're trying to you think that this life is ending, a rebirth is assured. You know? The world as you know it, is ending.
It ends every day, every moment, every
Yep.
second. It's like that's such a powerful energy to be able to latch onto and hold in resonance in linear time, like your intention. That's meditation. That's why I kind of like, I don't want to like ever knock meditation because it's like too much of an energy, but like this life is meditation. You are here, you are off meditating
totally.
somewhere
Yeah.
in lotus posture, most likely, imagining this, and you are super focused on it.
Yeah.
So to be able to maintain it here from day to day and not kill yourself or not get killed or not jump off and live a full life of harmony and balance and grace and love, you're nailing it. That's your function. That's like the whole thing. And that's what I think like people just they should really just try to like settle into that as much as possible, because when you do that, the freedom you get to actually do the stuff you really care about and love, like that's where it comes from. And it's always self-generated, which shouldn't sound bleak or nihilistic. Like, it's awesome. It doesn't mean you don't get another person or people in your life. It's exactly the opposite, but like it is you. That's so important. It's like the most important thing I think right now for people to realize.
I couldn't agree more. I just love quiet time, like meditation, quiet time, intentional meditative time.
Yeah,
Like
whatever it is,
doing
yeah.
that moment in the morning, in the afternoon reminds me, like it's like an anchor for me. And I don't know who I'd be if I didn't do it every day, so I can't even speak to that. But I know that I really enjoy it.
Is it the one thing you do every day reliably?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I do reliably,
Right,
but
right,
it's definitely
Well, that one probably takes the cake, though, for the last 7 years. Like,
Well,
Emma was like, wow, once I did 60 straight days, according to this app. And I was like, I think we've done like 7 straight years.
Yeah.
the days
like,
that I don't do, because I have a timer consecutive app that I use, are always the days that we trip. Because like the whole day is like 10 times the
That's
meditation.
interesting.
And
It's
you're
hard
just,
to do our second meditation on a day we trip. You know,
I wonder.
but
when we
there
do
would
it, it's
never be a
also-
morning we would get up and start our day without meditating.
and I'm sure.
And that's just because that's the vibe I want to inhabit. Like I want to remind myself. I want to kind of. It's like digesting the dreams, and then the second meditation is like digesting all the fucking stimulation from the day, so you can kind of rest a little easier. That's the one thing that
What do you-
seems to get interrupted is like our sleep pattern if we don't do it.
What do you think about silent solitary retreat? Carrie McLean recommended this.
Oh
She's like,
well,
"You gotta do it."
we were on Vision Quest this time last year.
But
We
like
might even do it
isolated
again.
for like, I think she was saying she was like 3 weeks at a time. She was telling me like, you're gonna
Oh,
do this
cool.
in your life, and I was like, oh.
I would definitely do that.
Love that. Is it? Are you allowed to eat?
I think it's pretty cool. Like
easy.
it's a mountain retreat. Like you get to like do it yourself. Like
Easier
whatever.
in
you
some
need.
ways, harder in others. Like I love the idea of doing a meditation
I'm
time
supposed to do it.
so long enough that you kind of don't look at a chair or a door and have door go through your head because you haven't read or spoke language in so long that you kind of lose your way of relating with your environment without language, which could take you to different states of consciousness that could be really pretty far out. I
Oh
would
yeah,
think.
it's probably like taking off like augmented reality glasses that are
It is.
decoding
I
this
mean,
for you. It's
Carrie
like,
told me
It's
you
like
have to
okay,
do it.
wow, I'm a little bit more in this thing.
I know.
We could go at the same time.
I know. That's the one way. I know.
There's one I think that they do for a month at the Garrison Institute. I think
Yeah,
even
there's-
Jack Cornfield runs it.
There's somewhere in Carrie was saying in Colorado or somewhere like in the retreat. That's where they do the Naropa shit, the Chogyam stuff.
I would most definitely do it if everyone in my life promised that if they needed me to not be in there anymore, that they just tell me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if
yeah.
anyone was like, I had a like,
you'd be fine.
yeah, no, but that's the agreement you'd need to
Yeah,
make.
you'd let people know. You're not just going out.
Yeah, but also like let people know in the way of like, seriously, don't hesitate to pull me out of this. Not that I want to be pulled out, but if you need me to or want me to be pulled out, don't hesitate. That
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Yeah, if you're needed.
I'd be like, don't get me no matter what. I don't care if you need me more than you ever need anything in your life. Don't
Well,
fucking
Ramdas
get
has
me.
a story like that
Does
where
he?
they came, like he was in a cave for he was supposed to be in there for like 6 months, and they came to him and they're like, your father's gonna die, or your stepmother, or something like that. I think his father, and the gurus were like, "Go, get out of here."
Yeah.
That's where you're needed. You're not needed in some cave.
Oh
or
no,
anything.
and the guru said stay. He
Oh.
said this is an attachment, and Ramdas said, I understand I'm maintaining this attachment, but
I'm going
I made this
anyway.
agreement and I'm going anyway. They were like, you're on the precipice of really big
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
You're the
I
precipice of
remember
like
this wrong. Yeah.
yeah of this shedding, this enlightenment that comes with shedding all relationship.
And you know what I do on those situations is I just rebend reality where you're allowed to go to be with your people you love, and I'm like, nah, this is valid too.
Yeah, that's
can't-
what Ramdas did.
Yeah, it's so that's why I listen. There's no small reason I'm sure I ended up there.
There are no rules, and if there are, they're meant to be fucked with.
Don't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. You
Fuck
can't
that,
say
man.
fuck this shit. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that on the last podcast. We were talking about how some people just don't like to be told what to do.
I don't. I hate it so much.
It's defined my life, which is great.
Do you? I imagine two partners who hate that. That's what I have in my relationship. Imagine that.
Sean says he hates it. He doesn't hate it for me, though. He wants me to tell him what to do. He doesn't like having a boss. I think I'm like the one boss allowed in his life.
I guess that's true. I actually enjoy what she tells me to do, and that's why I guess
It's
it
a trust
works.
thing. I trust Cass. I've never had a boss in my life that I've trusted.
Yeah, I still
cool.
buck against it. That's how much I
That's
don't
great.
like. Yeah, that's how much I still buck. I'm fucking annoying, I'm sure.
I'm a raw dog, and it's crazy because like the nature of our work is like it's our business, so like we have to lure in clients with like our charm, which we have a lot of, and our know-how, which we have a lot of, and our experience and our skills and all this stuff. But what we don't tell them about is what I'm gonna be like 2 weeks into the edit, if you know. Or even a day into them fucking with what my vision is. If they're gonna use my name, if they're not using my name, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'll behave whatever. But
it's all good.
Are we talking about shit fits again? Did we come back to shit fits?
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's if you ever want to see.
He's like, am I being a chump? I'm not gonna be a chump.
I ain't no chump.
Dude.
Don't chump me.
Dude.
You don't chump me. You chump me, I'll chump you. That's how it goes. I know. I've been there.
To call another man
Fuck
a
it.
chump, to make another man a chump.
Fuck, man.
And I love him because he ain't no chump, you know?
You ain't no,
Me?
cannot be
Yeah,
a
of
chump.
course
I'm a
not.
fucking chump.
No, I know you're not.
All right.
You can't be a chump.
No.
The thing is like, I hope people realize like the playfulness in which you have to take those terms and those energies, because otherwise you really do get bound by them. But I'm learning like this process of growth and like ascension is one of expansion and contraction. And contraction is a necessary component for like stabilization, and like even if we're moving through things quickly, that does need some level of stabilization when things contract. That's okay. That's like I think that's an objectively masculine, nothing to do with gender energy. This like desire to like stabilize and foundation and build. Just too much of that is way off. So it's this balancing act, and I think that's basically what a lot of people are figuring out in relationships, in society, individually, is how to balance these energies internally, and like, you know, figuring out what we're calling chump stuff is just like your boundaries, but how you actually feel about a situation. And it's okay to feel like that. Like no one's going to the lion in the wild and being like, hey, lion, don't fight with that other lion. Like, you know, like the women run everything, by the way, in lion society. They literally do everything. They run everything. The men just fight. They're like doofuses, and they tolerate it because they impregnate them, and they're like, you're the strongest one, so I guess this is better, just from an evolutionary standpoint. But there is still a function to that like order that balances this shit out. It's just like finding...
Women can totally have the chump thing too. I don't know if it's called that. But
it's masculine energy. It's not. So it's nothing to do with gender.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with gender, but
It's where does it come in for women? I'd love to hear this. This is like a secret.
it comes in for less. I don't think I'm a chump. I know I'm not a chump. Where I don't like is when other people think I'm a chump.
But see, that's the same thing.
It's not the same thing to me. I'm
We've
not
had-
a chump,
we've
but I
had
don't want
people
anyone
try to
going around
play
thinking
you.
that I'm a
But
chump.
that's the same thing. You have
I know,
even less
I've ta-
control of that.
I've done-
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't-
Anyone could think you're a chump at any time.
I know, and I've let go. I guess you're right. I guess it is cross, because there are a lot of people who think I'm a chump.
No, I think
and I
what
don't mind. I
happens-
honestly don't mind. There's a lot of people who do think I'm a chump, and I don't mind. But
True.
like, I don't want someone to do something intentionally that would make me look like a chump.
There you go. That I think is the root of it, and I think that's what everyone
Like
has
if
to
you were to
figure out.
cheat on me and all your friends would be hanging, like shit that we've pulled. Like I don't know. I just would like. I'd be like, if I lived in a universe where it wasn't honesty, where Sean was more honest with you than he was with me,
Totally.
I would feel like such a huge chump, and I'd be so uncomfortable in that reality, because I'd be like, yo, you're more comfortable. I don't know.
But
that
I'd
kind
be
of
the
thing.
chump
No, I know.
in that
but
situation.
Still.
You guys just love each other. You don't have to worry about it. The thing is that I think the energy of chump, what we're getting in on, is feeling like it's a weakness position.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean you tolerate bullshit. You still have a beacon of how you feel. It's making sure that gets expressed in the purest way to maintain that feeling. It'll also keep you on track. Like if you don't deal with that shit, it will come out at very bad times. I mean, this is what's
Dude,
so
for me, it's like humiliation. The slightest tinge of somebody consciously humiliating me will trigger that, and I become a chump.
Yeah.
In that moment, I become a chump.
That's
You
so
know?
funny.
That's what happened the other night. That's what I was crying about.
Yeah.
Abandonment,
Yeah.
You guys are so
humiliation,
Mm-hmm.
that shit basically.
Those are my two issues. Too.
You guys are so
I'm like,
funny.
my other thing is abandonment.
But here's the truth. This is what I realize. If you're a dude, if you're anyone, it's not even a dude. If you're anyone and you're able to actually express those emotions and actually deal with them for real and not hide them away, it's the most powerful and most like that vulnerability is the most invulnerable shit ever. And if anyone doesn't appreciate that, whether you're in a relationship, fuck them. Like truthfully, that is truthfully like the best thing you can do, because you're really actually purging shit when you find out like your two core issues. I just found this shit out like over the past like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Till me like cop to admit it. She's like, I don't put up with this shit. I'm like, Jesus, give me like a fucking week to get him. I'm like, she's funny. She's so funny about it too. Like she knows she doesn't have a choice, but like she's like,
You guys are doing this like, let's
so
move this
fast.
along thing.
Let's just
like-
get to the
Well,
thing.
the
We got
thing
big
is, there is
plans.
kind of a perfect, because Sean always would say like, well, I can't do this. I'm like, you can't do it, but he would put up these boundaries if I would cross a boundary, or like he would need certain things a certain way.
Yeah, this is what I say, and then she like.
I
laughs
think it's
and gets
actually a
mad at
good
me.
thing to say if you mean it, and he only says it when he means it.
Because I'm not very much making demands of you or how you behave, right?
Sometimes you're wrong too. Is the truth?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Sometimes he's wrong when
you
he
think
feels
you
like
want
he's right.
your partner to change some quality, and when they do, you're like, oh, that was part of the mixture that made me really dig this person. I really maybe shouldn't go meddling around
Don't
under their
meddle.
hood.
Don't meddle.
Maybe
I
I'll meddle
know.
around under my hood.
I
Yeah.
fucking. That's the whole thing. It's like totally like just fucking. It's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's all so connected.
It's so great.
Well, I mean, I think relationship shit
It's
is
the best.
like
It's my favorite thing.
it's the quickest way to mature if you're really in love.
If you're willing to do the work.
If you're willing to do the work, and like you know that there's a bond here worth fighting for.
Yeah.
It's awesome because there's accountability, and like there's like and it's like you can it pays dividends. You can feel it. Like you can feel it. You're like, wow, we graduated.
I definitely put like 100% of my attention towards relationship in order to live in a successful relationship.
I
Yeah,
don't
why
put
not?
100.
That's why we don't have jobs.
I guess. I wonder if we're both fighting about putting 100% in because of our lives. I don't know if we put
Okay.
100% in. We put in because I do like. We each have individual. Like it's so weird to me to be with a partner who's so like me, but in a supportive, equal way. Because I get to see my own like future and past. It's so weird. Because like I have these urges to like be alone, get in our cave. Like we're both hermits. It's weird, and like we can hermit up together with the best of them. But then like we both have these drives to be like, I gotta do my shit. And to see someone having like kind of dealt with that energy on the forefront, she's been dealing with it like a lot more consciously for me, just objectively, and subjectively it's obvious, for a lot longer than me. It's like blowing my mind to see such like wisdom on like how to do that and still like maintain, but I still see like it's a fucking vibe, man. Like it's such a weird.
When you learn to listen to women and not just your partner, because your partner will oftentimes be the one that teaches you how to do that. But when you really learn how to listen to women, it's such a fucking
blessed with
gift,
so many.
man. That this world is filled with them. There's so many women here.
So many good
know?
women in my life. I have really great family members. I have, even Alexis, who's like an ex-partner, like so
Yeah.
fucking useful. I bounced off going to Turkey with her like today, and that was like a big thing. I asked my mom about it, and it's interesting
You
to
asked your
see
mom
everyone's.
for advice about how to approach
Yeah,
this.
and I did it in a way where like she was actually able to give me advice where she didn't have to be like preachy about it. She just got her chart read last night. It's the best. She's like going full on in. And yeah, like it's just nice to see when things are in harmony, how even if it's not comfortable for every single person involved at all times, it serves a function for like helping people grow. Like it's such a light and dark spectrum. Like to see the whole spectrum is like such a gift. Like it's fucking cool. I think that balance is like really key. Like to really see what lives and what dies, and to let if you want to use that death energy, like let the fucking good shit live. Kill off the stuff that makes you feel not great. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean be hedonistic and reckless. Very few people actually even have to be worried about that. It's not actually that big of a vibe. Like most people err the wrong way and being like, I couldn't, I shouldn't. That's usually how people come at shit. We're led to believe that it's the other way, but it's really not. It's not.
We were talking about this with drugs before we got on here.
Yeah.
The stigma on pretty much every drug besides like alcohol.
Every drug.
Because the what gets highlighted, and I'm not going to be able to talk to this as well as like Dr. Carl Hart could, so look up his work. But what gets highlighted is the 10% of problematic users of any drug.
Right.
That's what we amplify
Of course.
culturally. And
Because it's a fear suppression tactic. It's think of your own life when you push things down and don't deal with them. What did they do? They dominate your fucking life, whether you know it or not. They just embed it in like a weird parasite and fucking run your shit.
look at this country. We're in a drug war, and we're probably the most drug-addled society that's ever walked the planet.
You gotta walk that walk too, right? You want a free
We're-
society.
somebody had to go
gotta
there.
plow through that shit. It's gonna be a journey for sure for people. I know that like working through a lot of these things, these energies, serves a cosmic purpose because it's just a game a lot of us have signed up for. It's fun, Smash TV.
Yeah.
But like, it really does like. I forgot what I was saying. Fuck, when you're forgetting what you're saying when you're saying it.
Dude, that is a classic stoner.
It's the most stoner thing.
Yeah.
I was just saying the other day, I was like, I don't do that.
But like, you know what doing a podcast helps is like you can fight, like not on this podcast because we're wasting time, but like doing a podcast sometimes will force you, especially with some stranger, someone you've never talked to before, and you're like having one of those moments. You're like, I have no idea what I'm saying right now.
Just say it.
And you start just throwing words out there, and you're like, I wonder where this is gonna go.
How about this word salad gonna come out? All right, we're good. Yeah, I know. I know the vibe.
I feel like that's the form of consciousness that Donald Trump lives his life in.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah,
it's true. That's what people don't want to.
Don't know what's happening.
I think you can see it
pouring out.
That's to me like I don't watch a lot of Fox News with Donald Trump anymore. So off that,
you're off that tip.
Yeah, done with that one. But that is the approach I had when I watched him. I'm like, this guy is just fucking riding this thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To the motherfucking max.
It's crazy.
You throw anything in his face, he doesn't know shit about it. He will sit there and to your fucking face be like, I know everything about this.
Yeah.
There's no way you could even imagine how much I know about this. He'll start talking about...
He should be a podcaster, maybe, not the president.
Listen, he's the president. He's supposed to be the president. That's all I know how about the universe works.
Right.
It's our show.
Totally. Totally.
What do you think? Biden's going to win?
No, he's definitely not going to win. But what I keep, I'm literally yelling for the first time in years because I'm at my parents' house and it's such a crazy, tense, news-riddled environment.
What did they watch?
CNN and MSNBC.
Totally.
They love it. They consume
both
it.
Veins.
Yeah, but what those media outlets do and what they've hypnotized my parents into doing is exceptionalizing Donald Trump and not showing you how, of course, duh. What do you think we are? What do you think we're all about? He's just the acid that brought it all into the room. He brought it all to the surface where we can deal with it.
And honestly, like, I actually, like, I'm very confident if I went into a gold-plated bathroom with a gold toilet, I think I know how I would react. But I also feel like if a friend of mine had that, I'd be like, that friend's pretty weird. Like, he's like, I might be hanging out with that guy because what's that about?
Well, one of the things they say about Donald Trump is he really doesn't have any close friends.
That's interesting to me.
You know? Because can you imagine if you had a gold toilet and I saw that I wouldn't bust your balls?
Oh, yeah. You got to get your balls busted.
Donald Trump's beyond reproach. He's so sensitive, and that's why he became this powerful person.
That's so interesting. It's such a way of going. Do you think his existence is terrifying then?
I think a little bit, but then he takes Adderall and he's fucking flying, man. And he's just like, let's do this. I know how great I feel when I take certain drugs that are like.
You think he just found his thing and he's like, I can do this. I'm president. Fuck
yeah,
this shit.
I think he takes like a bunch of Sudafed or something. I don't even know.
No, his mix, they said Sudafed and something else for the DXM and some combo.
He's been doing it forever.
The Tylenol or something.
Yeah, he's been doing it forever. We all have our concoctions.
Hey, man,
you can't
who am I to
guy.
judge?
Yeah, you.
I would love someone to interview him and say like, hey man, like, we got you. If you don't want to be president anymore, like, we can figure this out. You know, like, just like to talk him into an exit ramp.
He's so stubborn.
People have probably tried to do that, but
he really constructs his own reality.
Yeah.
And we're just like, all right, guy. Like, that's the energy. If you think about it, if you pop out of your body and just think of it as an energy, the energy of him being president, he just wants it more than other people care to not have him be it.
Do you think Joe Biden wants it more than Donald Trump?
Hell no.
You know, come on.
Joe Biden's like, I think I'm supposed to want it more.
He's
But
already
Hillary
forgot
wanted
he's running.
Hillary wanted it more, and it didn't get her
but
there.
She wanted it too much. She repelled it. Donald Trump
you
is
need the
like, he's
perfect
immune.
amount.
He's like, did you ever see the Futurama where Fry is like immune from the brains that come to like get the thing?
Yeah.
He's so dumb that they can't like influence him. They're like, we're the brains. We control you with logic. And he's like, and he's the only one. That's like Donald Trump. He's too dumb to like not know how to repel shit.
Yeah.
I don't even see that pejoratively. Like, it's admirable in a way.
Well, everything that we're just casually like, oh, I have abandonment issues, some trust shit, there's jealousy flying around. He could never acknowledge to himself.
He'll deal
So
with it
he's
later,
had to
though.
build this whole reality around that.
And how long is it going
which
to really
puts him in the
last,
place
though?
of being president.
You think like maybe like 40 years?
I
maybe
think
at
what
most.
we have going for us if we don't want him to be president anymore is because it seems like he kind of doesn't want to be anymore sometimes lately. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah.
We've been saying that since day one. We
Well,
were saying
to-
that before he was even president. We're like, oh, he doesn't want to
Well,
do this.
to him, the issue would be relevancy, right? And
Yeah.
that he will probably lose at some point based
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
So that'll be his very torturous time.
He's gonna be a 2-term president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh.
You
I mean,
know,
then-
everyone thinks right now like, wow, this moment, the people are flooding the streets. It's just like,
Yeah.
no. Wait till you see who votes in this country. It's the people who, not the people who were in the streets.
Are you gonna
We're
vote,
lucky
are you
if
gonna
they
vote for Biden?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. We'll see.
Of course, he's voting for Biden.
Somehow this hasn't come up on our podcast yet. Somehow this hasn't come up yet. If there's an election to sit out as a New Yorker, it's this.
Why are you voting for Biden? What are you doing? Come on.
I'm not gonna fucking be proud about it. I think this is an incredibly
I voted
unfortunate,
for
distressing
Hillary
situation.
against Trump, and I
Of
regret
course you
it.
did.
I
voted for
regret it. I regret it.
We're in New York. We don't have to.
I was
vote
Maryland.
for-
I didn't have to vote either.
Yeah.
I just think that us not voting, I mean, I guess it could send the message. I guess I'm wrong. Maybe we should all just not vote and send the message, but I think they'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, awesome.
Who's
People
they?
aren't voting.
Who's they?
Whoever ends up winning the
reptilians.
election. It doesn't matter. They're on the same
What's up
side.
with them reptilians? Someone asked me about the reptilians on a crypto podcast earlier, and I'm like, listen, here's the thing with reptilians. I don't live in the reality where the reptilians hang out. They don't really like my vibe.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're doing shit. And I said, the other thing, did I say this out loud? Well, I'm saying it publicly. If I get invited to a party and there are people purported to or actually having sex with underage people, I'm never going to that party and I'm telling my friends about it. That's like, I know my behavior in those situations. So, because people are freaking out about this. They get in these conspiracy rabbit holes with the Epstein and the Ghislaine and whatever her name is. And I'm like, yeah, like, what, you can go down that, but like, how quickly would you move away from that in real life? Like, if it actually started to like intrude on your reality, it's like, I don't need that. I don't care. Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not you. I don't need to delve deeper into this. I guess that's how they thrive, though, and
It
I
is.
guess it serves a function too. Like that is a spectrum has to exist. Fuck, weird.
Do reptilians know they're reptilians?
I mean, think people who think reptilians exist think they know that they are, right?
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I don't think that much about reptilians. So.
Never.
No, I'm not being
you know-
literal about that. I think there's a lizard brain kind of aspect to everyone, and
Well, I think there's reptilians.
when you fully indulge that, you end up like Donald Trump.
But that's what I'm saying. Do they know they're lizard brains?
No, there's real reptilians too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are real like entities that are like we're lizard people.
Yeah,
But I just
yeah.
don't live in that reality.
I think Elon Musk is a real reptilian.
You think he's a real reptilian?
Yeah, I think probably. I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is, but
Well,
he's
their kid is
like
What about
us.
Grimes? You ever listen to some Grimes songs? They're
I
pretty
used
good.
to fucking dig Grimes
Oblivion?
early on. Yeah, man,
That
that
sounds
shit.
really fucking good.
That shit.
No, Oblivion's really good.
That was good.
She had his baby. I was thinking about Elon Musk. Here's the thing about him: love him or hate him, he is
Hate
a
him.
You hate him. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're fueling his dream just the same.
Yeah, exactly.
He
Good call.
really believes in Teslas and the power
He's
of his
definitely-
imagination of Teslas existing. I see them everywhere now. I saw them in LA everywhere. I want a Tesla. This Tesla drives my friend home from places. He just has to touch the wheel. It drives him home like every
Yeah.
50 seconds. I want that. I want the future where the
Oh,
cars
totally.
drive us
Especially
and
if
we
you're
can do drugs in the cars.
Especially if you're backing up into trees and stuff.
I would love
That'd
to
be
have a
helpful.
Tesla. I would also love for it to be employee owned. I'm not a big fan of the CEO of any company, especially this guy Elon Musk. I can't bring myself to get behind a guy who's shooting trillions into outer space, and seemingly with his eye on the prize of creating a rich people colony on Mars so they can really fuck this place. And I don't know.
He's not going to be able to do any of that weird shit. And maybe he gives us just like electric cars? I don't know.
Hopefully. He has given us electric cars.
That's good, right? Is
He
that
didn't
not good?
though, you know what I mean? It was like teams of engineers and shit. Like I
Okay.
think he gets a lot more I think he's a incredibly smart person.
It's like a Steve Jobs thing, you're saying.
Yeah, Yeah, I think like Steve Jobs would come up with some concepts and then he would fucking really come down on employees to meet deadlines and come up with new
Well, that's
technologies.
the thing about Elon Musk, right? Is everyone's obsessed with is that he's like an engineer. He like gets in there and like does this
He's
shit.
actually doing it.
I'm an engineer, guys.
I don't like the
It
way
doesn't-
he hit that
doesn't-
blunt on Joe Rogan. You know, remember that meme?
You just don't like him.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to not agree with his politics, which is that he should have billions of dollars.
But I like Grimes. That's what it always comes
Yeah.
back to for me because I think about Oblivion, that song, and I'm like, I don't know. And she made this other one, this recent one, So Heavy I Fall Through the Earth. I'm like, Grimes is good.
Yeah.
Grimes is really good.
I used to celebrate that album back.
She's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like a doofus.
No, and you know,
She has a baby.
well, come on.
What
That
is-
was a good move.
On TikTok, do you guys see on the TikTok that weird anime song they do, Dorime, for the Elon Musk kid? You don't know the meme? Holy shit, dude. TikTok, by the way, it's having its now.
Oh,
People are turning to turn on it.
I know.
because
I
they
deleted
found
it.
out it's China spy. It's always been China spyware.
It's always been China spyware. But I was like, it's just too much now that I can't.
Oh, you deleted it. Oh wow, I watch it sometimes. I like it. You got to dig deep.
You got to go to Reddit because sometimes on Reddit they repost.
That's all they do. All Reddit and
TikToks.
Twitter. All Reddit and Twitter is because it's like the pipeline. It's like the main line of consciousness is TikTok because it's.
Do you think people like it because they know they're being watched? Is that why it got so
Some.
popular? Partly not
I
only watched
watched-
by TikTokers, but by like.
I don't know. There's this one TikTok I watched. It's this dude from some hood somewhere. It only has like 12,000 likes. It's not very popular, relatively speaking. And I can't stop watching it. It's like the weirdest thing. There's a music playing in the background, but it's in the actual video. It's perfectly timed, but not on purpose. And he talks about how it's his birthday, and he's grilling, and he shows like people his gun and like his pants that are like weirdly comical. It's just so weird. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what in reality made this a thing that I can't, like, what karmic connection is that I find this so. She thinks I'm insane watching it, but I'm like, what? There's some weird pipeline. It's like the itch that kind of Tim and Eric and public access TV used to,
It's like Ween.
scratch for me. It's like kind of like Ween.
It's like, why
You
would
can
I
find some
like
real
this?
Ween shit? Oh, it's so good though. There's some
I
real
love
good
it.
shit.
I'm not saying I don't love it.
You think it's just bad because they're gathering data?
I don't even care about that. It wastes my time. I want to waste my own time. Oh, poor Cassie.
Wait a second.
Poor
wait a-
Cassie.
no,
Her time
wait.
gets wasted by
No.
TikTok.
It's one thing to
I'm-
waste your own time. It's another thing to have your time wasted.
Well, it's also
by some addictive
also
fucking app.
I end up wasting his time because we do 24/7 together. So if I disappear into a fucking TikTok hole, I leave someone hanging.
A TikTok hole or a social media K-hole kind of thing lasts way longer than an actual K-hole. Way longer.
Do you know what just happened on TikTok?
What?
But
I haven't been. Just to be clear, I haven't
no,
been.
you didn't have to tell me you have hot babes living in your neighborhood.
Dude, what do you mean? This is fucking it's the best place to live ever. Look at her. She's great. Is that her dog? No, she's just strutting. Okay, cool. I thought she was. There's a lot of dog walkers.
I love that we had to like hide the ketamine because like we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
And
That's
like we
fine.
probably would have even left it on camera.
Not
But you
later.
were like, I don't
Dude,
want.
it's like this is a weird
I don't want anyone looking in
1950s
here.
Norman Rockwell painting. Like I don't know what the gossip is.
Yeah,
The postman died
yeah, and they didn't replace
randomly
him.
and suddenly, and they did replace him. Yeah, it's just an anarchy in the post office now.
You have to go to the post office. I thought.
what
you said.
happened?
I don't know. He was a Steelers fan apparently, though. There's a big,
A memorial.
We don't know. I talked to him a lot when
And
I
rest
first
in
moved
peace
here.
to-
Rest in peace, JD.
JD.
Is there Steelers memorabilia on his memorial?
Terrible towels and such.
Do you want Dolphin stuff involved with your death?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Probably.
You
Wait,
do?
Here's-
Oh,
here's
that's
the thing.
awesome.
Here's
That's
the-
really
yeah.
fucking.
Oh, I'll
that's
probably.
gonna be rad.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like, oh, Denise doesn't know yet. If our relationship can survive that, then we're good. That's the real
Oh,
test.
how you get during football season?
I'm cool. I'm as cool as I've ever been. Like, I can even miss games now, which is a big thing for me.
Dude, you're fully detoxed, man. Don't go back to it. We used to love football. Yeah, I know when
No,
we
no,
say
no, no.
when we say boycott the
guy.
NFL, we're not saying
Oh,
it
I
as
know
people who
that.
never liked sports. Trust
I
me.
know that.
I know how to watch a football game.
I'm so.
yeah.
Listen, here's the
love
thing. Here's the thing. The
to watch a game.
Dolphins. Who are you a fan of?
The Giants.
You got your fucking itch scratched.
That's
my
true.
friend.
That's yeah.
Fuck out of here.
That is
Just
true.
give up. Just give up. Just
That
give up.
is fucking
Fuck out of
really
here.
good
I'm gonna
point.
waste my entire life being a
Twice.
Dolphins fan.
Twice.
As soon as they win the
Eli.
Super Bowl, dude, I'm good.
Yeah, then you could
I'll
fall
take
back.
it out,
Yeah.
and it's gonna happen. We just signed Tua. Total rebuild. We're good to go. It's poised. I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna be obsessive. I'm not gonna be weird about it. But
Do you like baseball?
I do, but more of like the cosmic perspective. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good sport for kids to watch if they're gonna watch a sport, though. It's like
Yeah.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like all sports. That's like I really like as much as I really value my sports like reality and education, and thank myself for like being interested in it because it is something that like actually connects me with people who wouldn't otherwise probably have anything else to talk to me about. Truthfully, for like a lot of veins.
Oh, I know.
And being able to like actually talk about it and not like an imbecile way or like, "Oh, I think what's this?" It's like you actually know what's going on. It's like pretty useful, and I genuinely enjoy it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, you guys, I wouldn't be a Dolphins fan if I didn't.
You're doing it selflessly. Is really what you're saying. Is you're selflessly consuming the Dolphins so you can connect with people on a deeper level.
I mean, he's Stephen Ross, man. He is the Equinox guy. Oh, did I tell you my Equinox hack? Hey, I have an Equinox hack. This is I'll acknowledge the presence of other people. Here's what you do.
If you have an Equinox membership, you don't.
And
need
you
a
don't want,
home.
and you want to get out of it, and you want to just live there. That's the hack.
don't
These
need a
fuckers, by the way, started to try to charge me last month because they opened up in California in the middle of this shit. And they're just ruthless. I knew it was gonna happen, but I found a hack. Here's a hack. This is true. Sign up for this Apple card. It's a credit card. You can do it on your phone. It's no big deal. Don't use it. Don't use it. Sign up for an Equinox membership. Just all you need is the credit card number. You don't need to ever go there. You can use it one time if you need it. Then what they let you do on the phone is change the number at will. You can just change the number. It's not a real card. So you just go and you go change number. So then when Equinox tries to hit you at the end of the month, they're like, hey, like, you can't do it. Like, why? Because they're ruthless. I've heard this. They're literally ruthless. They'll just keep charging you. You can fight them, and they're like, it's in the contract.
That's how they're so huge.
It's literally their whole business model. So I brought up Stephen Ross. He owns the Dolphins. This is his model. But I hacked his shit. I'm not going to do that shit. I mean, fucking good luck. That number's no
The
valid.
owner of Equinox owns the Dolphins?
Yeah, Stephen Ross.
This is why I think I'd be much more interested in sports if we had like a local single A baseball team to root for or something like that. You know, something much more wholesome than like the hyper corporate level.
Wholesome. It's
that
not
it gets.
wholesome, though. It's the worst, man.
Well, yeah,
Those people
that's
are basically
worse.
slaves.
You're
I don't
looking
like-
at the slaves.
yeah,
That's
people
worse.
people can't decide where they're going. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but man,
Single A's no good.
man, it's so fun to watch a baseball game. We go to
I
fucking
had
McCarran
double A,
Park and
man.
just watch fucking amateur softball
Oh,
games.
it's fun to watch.
You know?
Not fun to be in single
Talk
A.
about if you're like hunting to try to see an in real life fail, just go like watch some local recreational organized sport thing. You'll see something go down.
Oh, or weddings. Weddings always something goes down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, weddings. I've had really good times at weddings, I gotta say.
Weddings are great.
Yeah. Maybe now that I know about ketamine, weddings will be more fun. 'Cause
Oh,
we
you
don't
didn't? You're not a
drink.
tradition. Yeah,
Like,
I
we-
drink. I mean, I don't get saucy. I drink to a point where like I'm like I'm good. I
Yeah.
could drink water from now on, and I try to smoke weed.
I'm too much of a sex machine to get involved with alcohol.
Dude,
you know.
you know what I've been noticing? Let me tell you a little something about this.
It's true.
Alcohol and other drugs, their power over our dicks is quite limited. I've really found this to be true. It's kind of remarkable.
Yeah.
It's really insane. People should talk about it because I think too many people buy into these myths of like this kills your libido or you can't get it up. And I'm like, oh, that's not true.
Oh,
Like,
with
it's-
alcohol for you. You have
Alcohol, ketamine. You know what I think maybe for me? I think amphetamines. I don't know that on MDMA I'm fucking a lot. But shit, I bet I can break that one.
I think what happens on alcohol is that you end up fucking people you actually don't really want to fuck that much.
because it's so like.
And so, yeah, you think it's the alcohol, but you just don't give two fucks.
You're less discerning.
But you also don't give two fucks, but you also don't give two fucks to get hard. I actually don't really know how getting hard works. I'm just talking shit.
I don't know how it works either. It
it's a
just works.
fickle beast sometimes, but sometimes
Yeah.
it just often I'm just like, whoa, really cool. You get. I thought that's not what's supposed to happen.
With MDMA, I think it kind of, and people don't talk about this, but Shulgin talked about it, I think, a little bit. It removes the urge to orgasm. So you'll have sex, like you can have sex, and it could be really fun, and we've done that. But like,
Oh yeah, maybe that's
that like, oh, let's take it to the finish line moment, which is so weird.
Tell me
It's just
about it.
like, yeah, kind of
Tell
like
me about it.
like
Because why would you love one more moment more than another?
Yeah, it's kind of you're in that. I
Well,
remember
it's like a book though. The most people try to get to the end.
one of the craziest sexual experiences we've ever had was we were on a candy flip at Wien the first time we saw him at Desert Days, and we went back to our tent and we fucked for like 2 hours. It was crazy, and like we haven't behaved like that in a long time. We explore our sexuality in other ways, but not like some long marathon.
Yeah, when you have
session.
sex so often, you want to be able to have sex so often,
Yes.
and when you have a really long sex session, sometimes
you
you
don't
gotta
wanna
like
get too
take a
much
day
mileage.
off, and who wants to take a day off?
I know what you mean, guys. Literally,
No,
just slept for
exactly.
15 fucking hours.
Yeah.
So I know what you
But
mean.
afterwards, it was so funny. Cass, like, she was so high. She was so like,
Yeah, you're
see-
buzzing.
and
It's
she's looked at me. She's like, yeah, like, in dead seriousness, she's like, well, Sean, you can't leave me now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened. What kind of like it was like another.
Yeah, you up level and you
exchange
realize like
happened. Yeah.
you're not giving that up.
Like you're not.
That's why I
you're
laugh
not
about
leaving
all
me.
this shit with
Yeah.
Denise. It's like we're fucked in that regard.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Really? Like
Yeah.
we're not idiots. We're really smart people actually who like are discerning about reality. It's like what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like if you left our sex, I'd feel bad for you.
yeah, I'm just like sorry. Like
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's not just you. Like sorry. Like you told me we know it. We're in agreement. Like this shit is some weird fucking thing that's happening. We can acknowledge it.
I think people take it for granted, but like it's been the beacon light of our relationship is
Yeah.
our sexual connection.
I'm
Like
so
we always
happy-
know
I'm so
that
happy
that's
to hear you say
there, and
this.
like we know that that's there. and
It's
that
such
we
a
can get
guiding
back.
light. It's a barometer. It's a
Yeah.
beacon.
Yeah,
Totally. I'm so happy to hear you guys say
Yeah,
this.
and it's like if you can nurture that, like kind of, I feel like everything else falls into place. This might not be for every couple.
So interesting.
But
I
for
totally
me,
agree.
it's that. If
Wait, but
everything else falls into
It's
place.
kind of interesting though, because we don't have like angry sex. We don't have like
No,
it's never
never.
makeup sex. We've
No.
already made up for hours and caressed each other and been all sweet in each other, and then but you are doing it with the goal of that, but you don't skip that state. You
Yeah.
like get there when you've
I know.
earned it
I
again.
get it.
Not like you
Yeah.
play sex
I
as
know,
a weapon,
I know.
but like he wouldn't have sex with me either. It's not like I hold sex
Isn't it
back or anything.
weird? Isn't it
Yeah.
weird? Isn't it weird?
I had a friend telling me
love
the
it,
other
though.
day how his girlfriend was withholding sex.
No.
And I'm like, damn, man.
Yo, that's not
I'm like,
good.
it really hit me in a visceral way. I hadn't really ever thought of. I hadn't conceived.
If my
of that.
partner consciously did that, I think I would be out within a few days.
That's what I was saying to him.
for real.
But I think he's.
I don't even want to make it really sound like that because I think I'm like my connection is deeper. But like that's such a like
You gotta leave.
You're
No, you
just
gotta
friends at
no.
that
If
point.
someone says that, you just gotta leave. And if that's how they want you out, that's how they want you out. They're saying, you know what I mean? If you leave and someone's okay with you leaving after withholding sex from you, that was just them trying to get you to leave.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, totally.
what I mean?
Totally.
So
if
just
someone's
leave.
gonna pull that shit,
Like you're wasting my
out.
fucking time.
Yeah, don't waste
Yeah,
your time.
you can't do that. That's what I was talking about. That boundaries. That's don't be a chump.
Don't be.
Don't be a chump.
Well, let's fucking wrap this fucker up because my editing skills aren't such that I could edit long podcasts without like.
Okay,
having to
we're
take a nap.
leaving with the dolphin spirit as the last card.
Ooh.
This and that are true.
Yes, this and that true. This is a very beautiful,
Nice.
beautiful card too.
What is this and that are true? What does that mean?
So it's like that's true and that's also true.
It is what it is.
It
Thanks for
Amazing,
joining
guys.
us,
This was
Noah.
fun.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for joining
us.
me. Yeah,
Let's get back to the party.
let's do it.
Peace and love.
Peace.